everyone, it's Annette. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a really fun card using several techniques. I'm going to be using my solar paste, which if you've been watching along, I love this product. So I'm going to be using the solar paste. We're going to be doing some 3D embossing and some die cutting, and we're going to put it all together and make a Christmas card. So I hope you stick around. It's going to be fun. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to paint some of the solar paste onto a piece of pattern cardstock that I found. It's just a double-sided pattern paper pack, and I'm going to use the plaid side. And I just cut, I think it's a like 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch. It doesn't matter. We're going to die cut it down to the panel size, so we just need to start with a size bigger than the finished panel, which will be 3 3/4 by 5 inch. So I'm going to just lay this down, and I need to grab another paper towel. And what we're going to do is we are going to take each color. I have 3 colors of the solar paste. Now this is a Simon Hurley product, and it's a really cool paste. It's creamy. It's a white paste, but it has a metallic color in it, and it kind of shifts almost like iridescent. So the 3 colors that I have are Crocodile Tears, Golden Hour, and Royal Flush. And I want to put the Royal Flush towards the top and the Crocodile Tears towards the bottom. So what I'm planning on doing is just painting on a swoosh of color, all 3, the purple, the gold, and the green. So let's get started and we'll do that. So I first have the Royal Flush, and I'm going to grab the extras off of the bottle just so they don't get onto my paintbrush. Okay. All right, and then I'm just taking a wide 3/4 inch paintbrush. It's a watercolor brush, I think, but any brush will do, any wide brush like that. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the color or the paste, and you can see there's not a whole lot on there, and I don't want a lot because I'm going to be laying down 3 colors. So I want the Golden Hour to be in the middle, so I'm going to focus like in this section for the Royal Flush. So I'm just going to swipe it on. You can go back and forth, and I'm giving it a slight arch as I go about. And this paste dries very fast, but you can kind of see already that gorgeous color, and that's kind of what I'm going for. So the next color I'll lay down is Golden Hour. And you want to make sure you close your lids tightly so that paste does not dry out. And you also want to make sure you wipe off your brush very well so you don't add, one color to another. You don't want to contaminate the pots like that. So I just give it a really good wipe and back and forth. Brush it, brush it. All right. And now we have the Golden Hour. And you can see that paste is nice and thick and creamy. And I'll just grab some onto really just focusing on the tip of the brush right there. And you can always tip your cardstock to get your reference. So I'm kind of going right in this area. If they overlap a little bit, that's great. That's just fine. They don't have to, but they can if you want. And you can see that Golden Hour right there. Okay, and again, I'm going to clean off the brush. Find a nice clean area with the towel. Really dig in and get that color off. I'm going to close up the pot, and then we'll go in with our last color, Crocodile Tears. I love the names of these solar pastes. I just think they're fun. Okay. And again, I'm just going to kind of see where the Golden Hour ended. So that's right about there. And give the Crocodile Tears their position on the card panel. Okay. And then wipe the brush off again. Just get most of that off. And I forgot to get a little pot of water, but you can set your brush in some water before you can clean it up. And I think I'm going to just go ahead and clean up my brush and then come back, but I just want to show you what this gorgeous color looks like. So you want this to dry. It doesn't take long to dry. 15 minutes maybe. So just test it. But let me go wash my brush and I'll be right back. So our panel is dry and you can see that gorgeous color. Isn't that great? So now we're going to do the next technique, which is we're going to die cut the panel out. And I'm going to pull in Gina K Designs Master Layouts 14 because I want to use this postage stamp die and the stitched background layer. So this, I kind of, I have an idea in my head what I want this card to look like. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to just try it together. So this die set comes with this really cool postage grid and the shadow layer. So the postage grid has this really cool scalloped edge. I think you can see that. There you go. And I'm going to, first of all, I need to make some room. So let's see what we're doing here. Then we're going to pull up my Sizzix Big Shot die cutting and embossing machine. Let me zoom out. And let's get this panel cut. So what I'm going to do is these have to go together and they just fit in nicely together. So I think what I'm going to do, I think to make this easier for myself, is to line up the shadow layer first. Okay, so I do want to tape that down. I'm going to tape it down in each corner. My mat is warped a little bit, so I'm just trying to be careful. And then line this up inside. Move that tape. Just get it to fit right inside there. There we go. And then put the top plate on, hold my breath, and run it through. I hope this works. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, I think that worked. Beautiful. All right, perfect. Oops. All right, so it didn't really die cut the corner here, but I'm going to carefully separate it. There we go. All right. So this is a piece of scrap, although you could save it and use it as a frame on a card, but I'm not going to do that today. And then I want to poke out my postage stamp, and look how cool. Now some of the holes did not come out, and that's okay. I'll show you how you get those out. All you do is you can take a little pokey tool. This does not take long, and you can see some of the holes. The ones that are darker are the holes that popped out, but you just take your tool and poke out those other little circles. It just takes a second. And you'll see them fall down. If they catch, just rub them off. Okay. Oops. I'm making a mess on my tabletop. All these little dots. I'm not saving the dots. You can if you want. Some people collect them and just put them in a container and use them as shaker fill. But I'm not going to do that today. I wanted to try to make this as simple as possible. Oops, I missed one down here. And it looks like we got them all but that one. Okay. So let me get rid of all these polka dots. Again, save them if you want, but I'm not. Get rid of those. I'm going to keep my two pieces. And then next, I'm going to run this through. Again, I'm going to just run this panel through. I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to run this through a 3D embossing folder from Creative Expressions. And this one is called Poinsettias and Baubles. I really like that design. And it leaves a very cool 3D embossed image onto the card panel. So just position it wherever you want it. I kind of want the poinsettias to be up in the corner and the ornaments hanging down from there. So let's see. Let's do that right about like that. All right, and then this is a 3D embossing folder, so it's thicker. And I think I just need, where's my top plate? Down here. I think I just need this as the sandwich, but if it's too hard to go through, I'll take this plate out. Nope, it's going through, I think, just fine. You want to be careful that your sandwich is not too thick, because you can crack either your cardstock or your embossing folder. I've broken some embossing folders by mistake, and no matter what I do to adjust the sandwich, I just can't get it right. So, but this one works. This one went just perfectly through the machine, and then you just lift it out, and there's your image. Isn't that cool? Very, very pretty. All right, so we're done with the embossing. And then what I want to do is I want to take, let's see, we're going to put this onto a matte layer. All right, so here's the matte layer, and what I want to do is, I really want to use both of these. So I think what I'm going to do is, we're just going to glue this down. This might go very wrong because this is so flimsy. Well, let's just give it a try. I'm just going to put some glue around here and there, just so I can move it around if I need to. And let's see. Just want to position this just about like that, and just lay it down. Give it a second to adhere, and then what I'm going to do is turn it over. Okay, so let's turn it over and see if we can really burnish that down. In fact, could even add more glue now. Okay, add some to that side. And there. Okay. Perfect. All right. Then you want to make sure that you do want to make sure if there's a pattern that you're at the right side, and I am. So if I had this turned this way, it might not line up. But actually, this pattern is pretty uniform, so I don't think it matters in my case which way. So, but just be mindful of that if you have different patterns, that it does matter how they're lined up. All right, so what I want to do is I want to pop this piece up onto this panel or the mat. So I'm going to put some foam tape on each posted square. So let's go ahead and just put some foam squares. I want to just make sure I focus on the corners, but I don't want to cover up the holes. Okay, just going to focus on the corner of each section, and then one in the middle. And we'll do that for all of them. You just want to go back and peel the backs off. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, and then one more. Okay. Then you want to bring this in and kind of look straight down onto it, and we will just make sure we get this lined up, and I'm focusing on these lines, just trying to match the lines up at the top. Actually, you know what will help if you add some tape runner to the back of your card mat just to hold it still so you don't bump it. All right, now just line these lines up, line your pattern up. Side to side, top to bottom, and drop it. Okay, and then I'm just going to turn it over. And I'm going to take that off. All you have to do is rub your fingers over that adhesive and it comes right off. And there is your panel onto your mat. And now we want to adhere it to the card base. And then here's the card base, which is a piece of 110-pound cardstock cut in half. It's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock cut in half at 4 1/4. And I'm going to stamp my logo on it first before I forget. Give that a stamp. And then what you do is just fold it over halfway, meet the edges, meet the corners, and fold it. And then just crease the top. This is a top folding US A2 size card. And then we can go ahead and glue our card front to the base. And then all we have left to do is the greeting. And let's see, that looks good. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Very pretty embossed panel with solar paste, which really highlights it. So the greeting I'm going to use is, let's see, it's just going to be, I think, from this set called Christmas Cheer. And I'm just going to put a simple greeting down here. We could put Merry Christmas or Winter Wishes, Happy Holidays. I think we'll do, I've made a lot of Merry Christmas cards. I'm going to do the Happy Holidays because I've not done one of those yet. And just, that'll look nice. So we'll bring out the Mini Misty, and I need a piece of white cardstock, which I have right here. Put that down. And we'll just put our stamp there and pick it up. And we're just using some Gina K Designs Premium Dye Ink in Black Onyx. And we're just going to give this a light tap. And just a light press just to ink, just so the ink can transfer. And we're just going to do that one more time, very light, so we don't squish the letters down together. All right. And then we'll clean off our stamp. This is a Gina K Design Tidy Towel. Works great for stamp cleaning. I'm going to go ahead and put this away. And then I do have the coordinating dies for this stamp set, and I need to find the one that says Happy Holidays. So let's dig and search for that. It might take me a moment. I don't think it's this, because this was Merry Christmas. Yeah, that one was Merry Christmas. So let's look for it. Merry Christmas. I think this might be, that's Happy New Year. I can just tell by the shape. So the other one in here is probably Happy Holidays. No. There we go. When you see it, you see it. If you're not sure, it's probably not the right die. That's at least my experience. When it's the right die, you know without a doubt. All right, I'm putting these away. I'm taking the time to put them away because when they fall, they're really hard to find. And I don't want to lose them. Okay, so let's get this up. And don't worry, that's my nail polish that just smudged the cardstock, but it doesn't matter because we're thankfully we are die cutting this. Okay. All right, let's bring the big shot back up here. Okay. Get my sandwich put together, and usually for die cutting, I like to put my metal shim in there. All right. And then we will just line this up. I'm going to bring it down here just so I'm looking straight down on it. It's very helpful. And just take your time and line it up. And again, when you'll know when it's lined up right. If it looks a little off, just keep playing with it. And run it through. And then I'm going to take this out so you can see the beautiful cut we have there. And I always do this when I'm die cutting sentiments. I will cut an extra layer out of my scrap just to help build up dimension on that greeting. So we'll just put it in here, and I really don't fuss too much with it. It doesn't matter if it shifts. I just need an extra shadow layer. And if you want it popped up a lot, you know, do another one. But I usually find if I'm using a thicker cardstock, which this is, that two work just perfectly. All right. So let me put this die back into the bag. All right. Get this out of the way and put this card together. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring in my reverse tweezers so I can grab this, and we'll just add some glue. And then we'll just plop that down and line it up. Just make sure all the edges are even. The glue gives you some time to do that, and then you can add something heavy on it. All right, then all that's left to do is to put that greeting onto the card, and then you have it. So I was planning on putting it right down there, and that's exactly where I'm going to put it. So let's get some glue on the back, and then line it up. And I'm just going to line it up right in the center. Let me zoom in. Right in the center here of those postage stamp holes. And there you have it. A really fun, beautiful Christmas card or holiday card. Again, you can use this technique for any kind of card, a birthday card, sympathy card. Instead of embossing, you could do the solar paste, and then you could do a stamped image right on top. Even if it's just a plain panel, you don't have to have the postage stamp die. You know, you could just use this on a plain panel and it would look really pretty. All right, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this technique as much as I did. Until next time, have a great day.